Namaste to all shorthand lovers, all the students. I appeal you. Today we have to take two passages for the speed at the rate 120 words per minute English shorthand from the book Pittman's 4-minute speed test. It's a book. And now we proceed to take dictation. Okay, so 120 words having in a passage number 25A and 25B. Please note down. Whenever you possible to contact me, if anybody wants these passages, I will provide you on WhatsApp numbers. Okay, ready? And after taking dictation, I will give you some difficult words with spellings. Note down, please. Now let us start. When a body of men raise more food than they want and employ that surplus food as capital, paying it in wages to other laborers, those other laborers act in concert or combination with those capitalists. It is only by means of concert or cooperation that the body who raise more food than they want can exchange with the body who raise more clothes than they want. And if the two bodies were separated either by distance or disinclination, unless the two bodies should virtually form themselves into one for the common object of raising enough food and clothes for the whole, they could not divide into two distinct parts the whole operation of producing a sufficient quantity of food and clothes. The division of pursuits then into the management of capital and such occupations as are carried on by muscular exertion or division of employments and all exchanges results from cooperation amongst men, not only simple cooperation which first raises capital, the surplus produced for exchange, but also complex cooperation which enables the rich man to employ his capital and the poor one to consume it, and which includes all the means over and above surplus produced for practicing exchange and division of employments amongst different bodies of manpower. Before we proceed to the practical conclusions which may be drawn from this principle, it seems right to notice an important distinction between simple and complex cooperation of the former. One is always conscious at the time of practicing it. It is obvious to the most ignorant and vulgar eye of the latter, but a few of the vast numbers who practice it are in any degree conscious. The cause of this distinction is easily seen when several men are employed in lifting the same weight or pulling the same rope at the same time and in the same place. There can be no sort of doubt that they cooperate with each other. The fact is impressed on the mind by the mere sense of sight. But when several men or bodies of men are employed at different times and places and in different pursuits, their cooperation with each other, though it may be quite as certain, is not so readily perceived as in the other case. In order to perceive it, a complex operation of the mind is required. And here, perhaps, we may discover the occasion of Adam Smith's error in confounding division of labor with division of employments, which are really incompatible with one another. If the division of employments had been equally plain under all circumstances, Adam Smith would never probably have called it division of labor. He would not have done so assuredly if the complex cooperation which by the aid of exchange gives rise to the division of employments had been as obvious as simple cooperation which originally provides surplus produce for exchanges stuff and over. Now we proceed to know what are the difficult spellings, and I will tell you now. First, virtually, virtually, virtually. Then next, raising, raising, raising. Then vulgar, vulgar, vulgar. Conscious, conscious, conscious. Okay. Now further, perceive, perceive, and then perceived. You add the d. You can add d, perceived. Confounding, confounding, confounding. Assuredly, we know assure. This word is assuredly. assuredly. Then the name, Adam Smith, Adam Smith, Adam Smith. Okay. Now we proceed to next number, passage number 25B. The first dictation was accurately limited for 4 minutes, cut to cut. Okay, now proceed to next, exercise 25B. Be ready? And now let us start. I am a discontented man. If you wish to know what I am discontented with, I can tell you in a single word everything. I have been afflicted with this malady for such a very long time that discontent has become my normal condition. To give you an example of the dissatisfaction which reigns in my mind, perhaps it will be better to describe one of my ordinary days. I wake up in the morning, and if it is early, I am dissatisfied for not having slept long enough. If it is late, I am dissatisfied for having slept too long. The next thing to be done is to get up, but I dread the trouble of making my toilet, and it is only after many moral struggles that I at last commence this tiresome undertaking. Then perhaps I read or write a little before breakfast, but I do myself such a very little good that I feel fully persuaded that I am only a fool to give myself so much trouble for so small a result. But if I do not nothing at all, I consider myself a lazy fellow for having wasted valuable time. The next task is to get my breakfast. Perhaps I find prepared for me something I do not care for, and consequently I only eat a little of it. Or should it be a breakfast which suits my taste, I am sure to have to leave it unfinished for want of time. Then I set out to do my day's work, but there is nothing which I detest so much as work. I look upon myself as morally a slave, and there is only an iron collar and chain wanted to make me one in reality. Free will, I hear it talked about, but I do not know what the enjoyment of it is. Perhaps I feel rather unwell, and it is a cold, wet, miserable morning. Then, of course, I should like to stay at home by the fireside. Perhaps I feel full of health and spirits, and it is a beautiful, sunny, fresh morning. Then I think how nice it would be to have a day in the country. But wait, or fine weather makes no difference to me. I always have the same dreary walk from my house to the office every day in every year. Having only about a mile to go, I soon arrive at the office into bracket, generally the first bracket, and there I sit down every day in the same place at the same desk on the same chair. There I see the same people, I hear the same kind of conversation, I write the same things in the same books, I murmur to myself the same remarks. At 2 o'clock, I go out for an hour. Sometimes it rains and I get nearly wet through. Sometimes it is blazing hot. There are 10 seconds remain in this dictation. This passage approximately dictated by me with a speed at a rate 122 words per minute. Okay, thanks. Now, the typical words from this passage 25B: discontented, discontented, discontented. Then melody, malady. Then afflicted, afflicted. Reigns, reigns, reigns in my mind. Then toilet, toilat. Slept, slept. Tiresome, tiresoma, tiresome. Persuaded, persuaded, persuaded. Next, breakfast, breakfast. It's a single word, not compound word. Breakfast. Then detest, detest. Iron collar, ironcollar. There are two different words. Iron collar. Next word, dreary, dreary. Then murmur, murmur. I murmur. Okay. Conversation, you know. conversation. Blazing hot, last words. blazing, blazing hot. Okay, these are the typical words. Okay, best luck for your exam. 120 speed. Who are the candidates to contest the speed? Okay, best luck for again exam. Okay.